So, I guess slimy worm-like parasites can make people really horny.
Watch it, Alan, I'm shooting.
Shivers. Shivers was the breakout movie for the master of body horror, David Cronenberg. If you're a fan of body horror, you know his work very well. Rabid, The Brood, Videodrome, Scanners, that's probably my favorite Cronenberg movie. I hope to talk about those movies eventually, but I don't really hear anybody talking about Shivers, so I'm going to.
No, wait, you're gonna hear the music.
Probably the reason not a lot of people are talking about it is because the film has been out of print for years. I was lucky to find it on DVD a while back. The movie has become available through combo packs of David Cronenberg movies, and I think it recently got a Blu-ray release, I'm not sure. Shivers takes place in a luxury apartment complex, a self-sufficient luxury apartment complex. The building has everything. Its own dentist, its own doctor's office, its own laundromat, and now its own horror hidden within. The movie begins with a young couple getting a tour of the apartment building. But as this is happening, we keep getting shots of this professor attacking a young girl. He eventually kills her, cuts her open, pours acid inside her, and then kills himself. So right away we're left in a state of, what the fuck? We find out that the professor had created a parasite that increases a person's sexual urges. He felt that the human race had gotten too advanced, and he wanted humans to go back to their simpler desires. He basically wanted to turn the world into one big orgy. The woman that we see him attacking at the beginning was his human guinea pig that he infected with the parasite. Of course, this being a sex parasite, the woman got rather promiscuous and slept with a lot of men in the apartment complex. The parasite reproduced and spread throughout the population of the building, and the next thing we know, the building is overrun with crazed sex zombies. This is a movie that you need to know what you're getting into before diving in. In the grand scheme of things, it's a zombie movie. But it's not your typical zombie movie. In most zombie movies, the zombies are created by a virus or voodoo, but most of the time it's left ambiguous. In Shivers, it's created by a parasite. This movie definitely inspired Night of the Creeps and Slither. Slither, Shivers, yeah, definitely inspired. But unlike other zombie movies, these guys don't eat people. They have a higher brain function than most other zombies. The urge is towards sex. The parasite is spread through kissing or intercourse. These parasites don't need a body to transfer to another host. They can crawl around on their own. They just need an orifice in order to enter the body. Either a mouth or something further south. So, this is the thing that could turn people off to this movie. The zombies basically go around fucking people. It's not really graphic. There's plenty of nudity and violence, but you never see any penetration. But I can't deny that this is a movie about a bunch of sex zombies going around raping people and turning them into sex zombies. Most of the assaults are more suggested, though. It's not just men assaulting women. It's men assaulting men, women assaulting men, women assaulting women, so these zombies are equal opportunity sex offenders.
I'm hungry for love. I'm hungry for love!
It's an animalistic, uncontrollable urge, just like zombies that eat people, but in this case they're fucking. The movie does take a while for all hell to break loose, but it's not a slow burn. There's plenty to keep you interested as you're watching the parasites and those infected going around this apartment complex infecting others.
No, would you...
In a way, it's one of the few movies that shows how a zombie epidemic gets started. Most zombie movies just drop you right in the middle of the apocalypse. They don't really show you how everything got out of control. It's really only Shivers and Return of the Living Dead that show how a zombie epidemic gets rolling. This is a low-budget movie. Hell, it was Cronenberg's first real movie. But it's still a good movie. It's a lot like Wes Craven and Last House on the Left. Both Shivers and Last House on the Left didn't have grade A actors or the means that bigger budget movies had, but the directors had enough skill to make them classic horror movies. The campy nature adds to the movie. It feels more genuine.
Take a walk nearly every day.
Oh, this is the very best.
Oh!
You also have Barbara Steele from Black Sunday and Piranha being very sexy. That doesn't hurt. Shivers is worth finding if you're a fan of 70s horror, Cronenberg, or body horror in general. I do think it's worth seeing because it's a forgotten 70s horror movie by a prominent horror director. Now let me ask you, what's your favorite zombie movie that isn't your typical zombie movie? If you can't think of one, just give me your favorite body horror. This is your buddy Justin, here to remind you that the Grindhouse will never die. How exactly does one of those worms come out during sex? Oh, that's a bad image.